Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bohemian Grove podcast. This is the 5th episode now, and just a couple of things I'd like to address to get the boring stuff out of the way first. One, it's been a little while since we've uploaded, I'm sorry. I've been moving from college back into my home. However, now the optimization process of putting out videos will be a lot better. Summer break is great. And then the second thing, which is probably the first thing you noticed when you clicked on this video, so I'll address the elephant in the room here. I shaved and I got a haircut.
And he's looking fresh.
Yeah, that's essentially it. We're also on the beach at nighttime right now. We are about an hour early for a party that has yet to take place. And before we start anything off, special thanks to Giovanni for helping us set everything up here, being our tech guru and getting our camera mounted.
Yeah.
I think that's the preamble to this show.
Yeah.
So, what now?
Kick it off. All right. If I do look in the wrong place, it's because I'm looking directly at light. I'm just looking into pure darkness, so it's nothing personal. It's not that.
The only way I can figure where the camera is right now is using Gio's silhouette on the background.
I don't even see that. I'm looking at the void right now, but it's all right. I'm sure you've all got beautiful faces, so I'll just picture them in the blackness.
But anyway, so this is the first of probably a few, maybe many more IRL episodes that I've always thought were pretty fun. I've always enjoyed when people had locations to their podcast because, sometimes the bedroom gets a little stale.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. Smells stale, looks stale, and it's nice to see people.
Yeah, I, predominantly, I'm excited for this party that's coming up.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be with good friends on summer break, not burdened by the cumbersome load of school.
Most definitely. So, yeah. No, it's nice to be able to just kick it, and, a little change in scenery is always nice. So, we're...
Yeah, because the beaches where we are, they're exquisite, to say the least.
Yeah. Not to dox ourselves or anything, but we got some prime beaches. Obviously you can't really see it right now because it's, just about...
We're getting to pitch black territory.
Yeah, we're getting close. We're not quite Vanta black, but we're getting there. So I don't even see any stars. So it's dark out here tonight, but...
It is quite nice, though. I've always had a fascination and a love for nighttime scenery.
Yeah.
I think that one, the absence of people and the liminality of nighttime is probably my greatest love for this.
Yeah, that's big. We could do with less people. I think in general, I think lives would be better if we just kind of cut the population in half. Not to get any radical ideas, but it could do some nice things for just if you're going out on a walk. You don't gotta have too many interactions with people. So.
I think now that we're in the dark, Dax, you posed the idea earlier today about telling ghost stories.
Oh yeah, except I suck at telling them, so it would be you telling ghost stories and me listening, which would also be awesome because, I like stories, bedtime stories particularly, so...
I mean, I only have one, true ghost story that's really, really happened to me. And I wish Juan were here. I wish that he were more a part of this, but he's a busy dude, so I'll let that slide.
Yeah.
But my one ghost story takes place with him.
Oh, okay.
It was there's a place that I cannot name for safety reasons that my family friends invited me to go camping with over the weekend because they're building a house there, right? And their house at this time is extremely new in the construction process, and it's essentially just a wooden frame. So Juan and I are staying in an RV while my parents and the couple other families that are staying there are essentially sleeping not under a roof, voluntarily.
Wow.
But Juan and I are in roughly, I think, 8th grade. I think we're in 8th grade. And, being the dudes that we are, we have our fun. We both bring our laptops.
Oh, yeah.
We use this cool little hack of a dual-sided Ethernet cable plugging each other's laptops into each other so we have a local area.
Yep.
And we played Mortal Kombat for a good couple hours.
That's legit. Okay.
But after that, we get off. I think we watched Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, that's legit. That's
a timeless classic.
We love that.
But and then after that, Juan and I, we decide, let's go on a night hike.
Oh, yeah. See, already not a wise choice.
I know this is the catalyst that every scary story begins with, but
That's why I just go to bed.
I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop taking night hikes.
That's on you. That's on you.
But so we're in a really large 4.5 acre plot of land, and in the center of it is a large lake. They got boats, they have a little pier there, frogs, wildlife are out there.
That sounds nice.
It's really beautiful by the daytime, but at the nighttime when Juan and I are walking there, we realize, one, we can barely see 10 feet in front of us, even with a flashlight.
So like right now?
Because, yeah, it's honestly, we had more visibility on the walk that we took.
Damn, okay.
But Juan and I get to the head of the river where our little trail/road starts turning into marshland.
Ooh.
And we don't realize it immediately, but the sounds of nature all stopped at once. The frogs stopped croaking. We stopped hearing wings fluttering of bats. We stopped hearing crickets.
Oh, no.
Essentially, the only thing that we could hear anymore was the wind.
I don't like that. I don't.
But Juan and I don't really notice until, I'm not going to say it's too late, but so what happens is Juan and I both kind of stop. And it's at this point that we notice it. And we turn and we look at each other, and we both kind of have a look on our face of, we know what happened. We both realize that there's no more sound.
Yeah.
And a feeling of kind of isolation sets over both of us.
Yeah, dude. That's just unnatural not having any noise.
So we look at each other. We know. And without fail, a crack sound comes from above us. And we're about 4 feet apart. And a pine cone falls beneath the two of us.
No.
And I make the longest consecutive run I think I've ever made in my life.
Oh my God.
Back to the van because Juan and I got really freaked out by the coincidental nature of this story.
I'm glad you've got that survival instinct, you know. That's the reason you didn't get put in a documentary. You didn't go looking for where that noise came from, you know. You could have easily been a horror movie instead of just telling this horror story yourself. But yeah, no, I think I would have been out of there. Juan would have had to, I would have hoped he went quick.
Oh, he outran me. He's a fit dude.
Oh, yeah. No,
I was a chubby middle schooler.
I would not have been looking back for him. I would have been out of there. I said, Juan, you gotta do what you gotta do, but I'm gone. Like
That's still never gonna stop me from taking night hikes or going out at night.
You're a guy for that, because that happens to me once. I'm going to bed at 9 every night. We're not staying up past 9. That is, I don't mess around with the supernatural, you know. I don't know how much I believe in it, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna mess around with it either. That's you know, I like my life a little bit too much to
The supernatural has always kind of baffled me, mostly because I don't understand where the theories come from.
Yeah.
But there may have just been, you know, the logical answer to that story may have been there was just a conniving squirrel.
Yeah, 100%.
Conniving nocturnal squirrel who just, you know, didn't want us trespassing. That may have been the entire story.
Yeah, but are you going to go look for that squirrel? No, that's not if you enjoy life, even a small amount.
Well, no, because it was pitch black. We couldn't find a squirrel if we wanted to.
No, and there's that too, yeah. So that's, you just, you don't mess around in the dark. That's the darkest time for sleep. That's why we're not staying at this party much later than midnight, because I got to go to bed. And we don't play with nap time. Like
another one I have, this one less freaked me out more than it did kind of disconcert me. I was on my street, right? You know, my street has a nature preserve on the end of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not too much revealing information. And I was out for my casual night hike. My parents, God bless them, think that when I go on a night hike, I'm walking into town.
Oh.
And that I'm traveling into a well-lit area.
Yeah, maybe not.
But I will be real with you. I travel into the woods at night.
Yeah.
And this one story, it wasn't that freaky because I was just doing my hike as normal. I never see anyone there. I don't even see wildlife 99% of the time.
That's almost creepier to me. I'm going to be real. But
yeah, you know, it kind of gives you this apex predator watching you feeling.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This night was a little strange for me because halfway through my walk, I'm going through a creek bed, which is usually the turnaround point for my hike. And when I'm walking through there, I'm trudging over the rocks, but I hear this kind of tune, and it gets a little bit louder and a little bit louder as I'm walking. And it gets a little bit closer and closer, but I don't hear footsteps associated with it. And it's a guitar.
Oh
it
my
is
God.
someone just walking while playing their acoustic guitar.
That's to just like, even if it's just like, it's a person playing guitar, to do that at night while walking in the dark, that's already just creepy to me. That the fact that someone would just do that's just strange to me.
What really bothered me about the story was that, one, the noise followed me, which is obvious to make it a scary story.
Yeah.
Because, if they said howdy and we
Yeah.
just talked, it would be normal.
Yeah.
But they did not miss a beat with their guitar, and they didn't have a flashlight.
Oh my god.
Or, well, I guess you couldn't use a flashlight while strumming and holding a guitar, but this person was navigating and I guess visually following me or the trail completely by sound.
Dude, I don't like that at all. Like, I know this is supposed to be like scary stories for the viewers, but like me not being able to see like anything past this light, I'm starting to hear this guitar, and I don't like it. I'm hearing music, I'm hearing branches crack. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think we're at far less of a risk on the beach than
I think so. Yeah, I can't think of many horror stories that start at the beach. So I think we're probably safe from that. But yeah, damn. What about I've heard this story before, but about you almost getting abducted. That one is.
This one's not even a cool forest horror story.
That's just a real horror story.
This is a traumatic life experience. Yeah. But I'm glad that this episode can be a little bit more candid and less wacky and zany. But I was on one of my hikes. This is kind of what convinced me to stop going.
Yeah.
Because I was on my hike and I was very close to where my road turns into a nature preserve. And it's not even that late. It was summertime. It was maybe 8:30.
Yeah.
It was like dusk, or dusk is when it's day to night.
Yep.
And a car pulls up behind me.
As they do.
I think it's just a neighbor, because I live in a very peaceful area, and I don't think I've ever had a bad encounter with these people. So someone steps out of the car, and they ask me like repeatedly, and it's this really tall Hispanic dude with long hair. Like, he keeps changing his story up a little bit. He says, "Hey, there's something wrong with my car," or "Hey, can you give me directions to someplace?" And I'm thinking like, this is not like a normally adjusted person.
No.
This person has an ulterior motive.
Yikes.
And then I look in the driver's side once the glare of the headlights goes down, and it's a really old, pasty white woman. And I think like, there's no reason that these two people should be colluding. This is not a couple. This is not a resident here, I don't think. So I just book it into the woods.
As you should.
I hide in said creek bed for 20 minutes.
That's terrifying.
The guy comes into the woods, but he doesn't look for me very much. He does a very just superficial sweep of the entering area. But I was in the creek bed. I was in foliage. He was not going to find me.
I would have been underground. Like, I would have had stones on top of me. I'm not playing around. Dude, I would have felt my heart in my throat so fast. Like, oh my God.
But yeah, that's the only like negative experience I've ever had there. And then after 20 minutes of just hearing a ringing in my ears and having my heart beating out of its chest.
Yeah, you can't even think straight when that happens. Like, I can't even imagine just the pure shot of adrenaline and fear, and you just are out of there. Like, you can't. The fear
that kept me going in this situation was I heard them peel off after about 5 minutes, so I waited an extra 15 minutes in the dark. But the way that this nature preserve works is that it's connected to 2 streets. And logically, I'm thinking, if I want to get home safe, I shouldn't take the same road that they took.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I need to go cross this riverbed, and I need to take the other way. The fear that was keeping me going is if they were smart and didn't completely dip, they would be waiting there for me.
Yeah.
And then there could be a chase. They could be staked out there. So I go lights off completely. I sprint all the way home and file a police report.
Yeah, dude, that must have been the most terrifying walk home. Like, I would have been so like neurotic for the next weeks, dude. I would be checking over my shoulder constantly.
I didn't go out at night for like a good 6 months after that.
I wouldn't either, dude.
And lo and behold, the police report turned up nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I mean, because they're always so successful.
I know, it's just we have traffic cams. Like, there's no way that you can leave my
Yeah.
street without running into a traffic cam. I gave him a detail of the vehicle, which was a brown Toyota Camry, mind you.
Yeah.
But they churned up nothing.
Yeah. No, I would never want to experience something like that, because that's not even supernatural, but it's just terrifying. Like, it's just real life.
I've never had an experience where I've ever felt that scared.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have had one where I would have been as scared as I would be in that situation. Like, that's just, I think I've had one situation where I was pretty terrified, but it wasn't nearly that bad, because I was like at home pretty much. It's still like I was a lot younger. I was like 8, 9 or something. So I still like broke down in tears at some point, but we were just playing at my neighbor's house at late afternoon. We were running around, and we had this friendly neighbor that was kind of on the other side of a fence between their house and the neighbor's house where I was like playing. So I was playing with a group of like 3 different neighbors. We were all, same age, running around their backyard. And that backyard is the one that was divided with that fence. So he's like the nicest guy ever. He always would like wave to us, funny guy, crack jokes. So we were running around playing, yelling things, some type of capture the flag, so we were yelling out code words. And so at some point we're all in the backyard, and he sticks his head over the fence, and he looks at us, and he looks furious, and he suddenly starts yelling at us, asking us why we're yelling racial slurs. And at that age, I don't even know what that is. I'm like, we're just yelling code words. We're like,
racial
we're playing
slurs.
A game. Yeah. So we're telling him, and we thought he was like kind of joking, because he's never been a serious guy. He's always like the jokester. So we thought he was joking. So we were like kind of laughing it off. But then he yells at us like right in our face. He says, "I'm gonna get on my roof and shoot you guys with my sniper." And at that point, he's not smiling, and our laughs kind of just die out, because we realize like, I don't think he's all right now. Like, this isn't the same person we know. So we all just run. Like, some of my neighbors run into their own house, which is right there, and they hide in the closet. I run all the way to my house, which is just across the street, and my parents aren't there, but my uncle's there. So I go to him, and I'm just like breaking down because I'm terrified. And that is kind of where it ends for us. But as it turns out, one of my neighbors, her mom, is terrifying. She's like 6 foot tall German, like warrior lady, and she's scary, dude. She's loud, she's big, and she does taekwondo. So like she's kick ass. And she stopped him, but he was coming up our street to come to us. Like, he was actively walking towards our houses when she intercepted him. But that's, I think, the scariest thing I've been through. And it turned out he was like super wasted, and he had like just lost his mom or something, but he was totally off the rails, and he just let it out on us. And that was, at that time, that was terrifying. And he's still never fully recovered from that. He's still a bit, he's a bit off. But
so his reason to combat the pertinent issue of racism is to threaten to kill 9-year-olds.
Yeah. He wasn't all there. He was definitely.
Does he still live near you?
He does. Yeah, I still see him, and now he'll wave to me and stuff. I'll wave to him, but he's not the same like funny guy who cracks jokes and everything. He's just I think he's sober, but it hit him hard. Like, it permanently changed him, I think. So he'll bike around the neighborhood. And we'll exchange like a wave, but that's about it. He doesn't show up to the block parties anymore. He doesn't really interact, but I think his daughter kind of cut ties, because he never even came over to apologize for this. His daughter came over, and she was like breaking down in tears, and she explained the whole situation. But I think she kind of like cut ties after that. And I mean, I'm sure he was totally ashamed and he couldn't face this, but still, it was just kind of a messed up situation. But yeah, that was scary. That was, as a 9-year-old, not understanding like the more complex things in life, that was I was a little scared, but nothing compared to actually, like, almost getting abducted by a stranger, because at least I knew this person.
Hey, on that topic, I got another one. I've told you about this one, but I didn't feel like extremely unsafe, but in this point, it was last year, first year of college, right? I told you about this person.
Oh yeah, I know.
It was I knew when to cut ties, and I honestly did it at the perfect time. And like, if I don't like someone, I will avoid them like a plague. You will never see me.
Yeah.
But there was a person last year who lived above me, in the apartment above me on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And she, for no reason at all, I don't think like I'm that flirty of a person, because like the most interaction we had really had was her like coming into my room because she saw my monitor through my window, which I have a big dick monitor, all right?
Yeah.
Like,
did you just get a big dick? I think that's why she was into it. Like, you just got those dashing looks, dude. I think it's just natural attraction.
I mean, maybe that was it, but she had like played a video game on my computer for a little bit, maybe like once or twice. I think as neighbors, I had watched a movie with her and like 4 other people at one time, but she grew obsessed with me.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people romanticize and fetishize the thought of someone being so uncontrollably in love with you that they will do things and like hurt other people, or
Yeah, just the crazy obsession. Yeah.
you don't want that. You absolutely don't want that. It's toxic. It gets you nowhere. It's, for me, the person who I believe I am the victim of this, and you can tell me if you think this person was a legitimate like freak or not in the comments. I don't really care, but you don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'd be into that either. She was also kind of just a scary chick.
She was just a horrifying person in general. Like, her mannerisms before anything like got far were already really freaky.
Yeah.
She would make a lot of like sexual jokes around me, just things that I was not comfortable with.
Yeah.
She said so many times that she wanted to be my sugar mommy, which was really, really off-putting to me.
I would have taken that cash and ran, but yeah, that's a story for her.
So it wasn't a sugar mommy offer as much as it was a when I get a job, I will
Fair
pay
enough.
for your things. But
yeah, but that never happened.
So what really got to me was my roommates were still friends with her, because I'd only told my actual roommate, and because I was living in a house with 6 people, right? Yeah. So 4 of them didn't know that she was crazy, but my actual roommate did. And one night they get the idea to invite her over for a game of drunk Uno.
Oh my God.
And I'm not a drinker or anything like that, so I was locked in my room doing whatever. And maybe she had too many, but when I take off my headphones to go take a piss and I walk to the bathroom, before I even open the door, I hear crying from the living room.
Oh.
And it's unmistakably her.
Yeah.
And it's her saying like really just disreputable shit about me and my current girlfriend.
Oh, dude, that's
and
the
she's
worst.
saying like, I'm happy for them, but I wish he was mine, and I wish that she didn't like him so I could date him. And she's sobbing, she's wailing. It's extremely loud. I feel like if I even had my headphones on, I would have picked it up.
Damn.
But that continues on, and it was after that like incident that my roommates, they like confirmed with me like, she's really kind of head over heels for you for no reason.
In like the crazy kind of way, yeah.
Yeah, in a not attractive, not flattering, this person is socially maladjusted way.
Yeah.
But so after that, they kind of cut ties with her. But that's unfortunate. That's not where the story ends.
No, it never is.
Because, I have, that semester, I have a class that ends at, I think like 6:30. Like I had a 5:15 to 6:30 class. It was getting to be the winter time, so it's getting dark out earlier.
Oh.
And when I tell you, I would see her oftentimes around corners on my walk home. I mean it. There were times where I'd be walking home. Not a lot of people have classes that late, so I'm kind of walking alone most of the time. But I'm on campus, so I feel relatively safe from like violence. But I would always see her around corners.
The non-coincidental way.
Yeah, and there would be times where I would order food in, have a lazy night. And when I go out to the curb outside of the little gated community to pick up my food, I would see her. Some of the time she would be just blatantly walking on the sidewalk like nothing ever happened. Sometimes she would be within the gate, looking at me, pretending like she wasn't looking at me. But so, that's a big dragonfly. But so it doesn't end there. It ends there for me, luckily.
Thank God.
But she then becomes infatuated with my roommate, Kevin.
Lucky guy.
Extremely lucky dude. Incredible. But so Kevin is friends with our next door neighbors, right? And our next door neighbors, because we kind of didn't like them because they stole from us.
Right, that's a valid reason.
They then, because, there's a mutual dislike between us and our two sets of neighbors, they obviously become friends because, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yep.
So this girl then develops a crush on Kevin, and I don't know the logistics of it. I don't know how severe it was, but from what I heard, she would do the same kind of stuff to him. And one night, she invited herself into Kevin's room and just started smelling his clothes.
Okay. All right.
Just unapologetically smelling his clothes.
So like normal behavior, yeah.
And I don't think she was like walked in on. I think she like told people like, "Oh, I love the way his clothes smell."
Oh.
I think she was like proud about it.
Oh yeah, I would be too, dude. Yeah.
And it's just every single existing photo of her is, I kind of see it a little bit when I blink.
Yikes.
It's like an unfortunate eyelid tattoo. It's like it really freaked me out at the time being. Like I was there was a point where I was actually kind of scared to leave my room.
I could understand that. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's stalkers are creepy. Yeah.
And I believe me, I know I didn't have it as bad as some people do.
Sure.
And I'm thankful for that. But
yeah.
As a first freshman in college, with no external experience, coming from a very small town, a tightly knit community of very nice people.
Yeah.
Going to college in a big city and being exposed to many different times of social maladaptation.
Yeah.
It's incredible to me.
You were pretty much modern day David and Goliath, I think, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And David always comes out on top, so we're glad for that. But yeah, there's a reason you can get restraining orders, and it's because stalkers are creepy as hell. So.
Yeah, I don't feel like, me giving her the hint of blocking her on social media, actively avoiding her, ducking conversations when she tried to initiate. I don't think that was hint enough for her.
No, some people aren't the most socially adept when it comes to literally being told to piss off, but...
There was one time where she was in my apartment for whatever reason. I got home, I said hi to 4 out of 5 of my roommates and not her, and she would still continue to say hi to me afterwards.
Yeah, no, it's... I think it's willful ignorance at that point. Or really she's got an IQ of a rock. It's one or the other. Because
I couldn't tell you, but if you're watching this, I'm not that special, all right?
He is special, but he's not for you.
No. There are plenty of decently tall dudes that play video games that are really introverted and have a wacky sense of humor, okay? I'm not the only one. Go find a different one, please.
Do find a different one.
Yeah, luckily I didn't see her at all second year. Maybe she transferred.
Or died, who knows?
I think this episode's a wrap, guys. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I know we don't get a lot of comments on these, but if you want to see some more outdoorsy stuff, let us know, and we'd be happy to do it while we're together for the summer.
Absolutely. All right.
Thanks so much, guys. Good night, everyone.
Good night.